San Diego Studios and MLB The Show is just getting ready to start their marketing engine, and so I have to believe that RBI Baseball is coming up next as well. So in this video, we're going to talk about 5 ways to improve RBI Baseball this year. All right, coming in at number 1, develop or license a new engine. It's got to be Unreal, license it from 2K, Konami, even maybe San Diego Studios. But right now, one of the biggest weaknesses with RBI Baseball is just the engine. There's a lot of dated mechanics, a lot of dated visuals and animations that are currently on that engine, so you need a little bit of an upgrade. Unreal right now, there's a lot of baseball games that have been developed on Unreal. I feel like there's things that they could do to leverage that engine here moving forward. Coming in at number 2, improving player likeness and animation quality. So here's the situation. With direct access to the players, something that the MLB can only really deliver at that caliber, they've got to invest in face scanning every single player, motion capturing batting stances, pitching windups, fielding movements, and trying to build a better improved suite of animations that are in the game. If I look at batting stances, and if I look at, swings and fielding and pitching motion and even face scans, MLB The Show runs circles around RBI right now. RBI has paramount access to players with this. This is something they really need to focus on now because they can be building that over time, to improve the product from now and then years moving forward. Coming in at number 3, depth in stats and franchise mode. Now, the addition of franchise mode this last year was a great start, but the experience is pretty shallow. I understand that RBI is more catered to the, casual baseball fan, but if the intent is to grow the business to more hardcore baseball players, a depth in playstyle modes and stack tracking is necessary. So I think about Out of the Park, for example. I also think about MLB Manager that 2K had. Super deep in terms of managing your team and franchise and being a GM. And then what you would do is you would watch games and simulate games. And Out of the Park right now, looking at what they're trying to do, they're trying to make the viewing experience better for the actual on-field play. That if they get super deep, if they really focus on making a deep franchise mode, they might attract Out of the Park baseball players in a sense, because the viewing experience will be a little bit better on the RBI side. And maybe if you want to jump in and play, you can do that too. And so it's essentially trying to find the middle ground between Out of the Park Baseball, RBI Baseball, and MLB Manager by 2K out on PS3. And number 4, a baseball card team building mode. Baseball cards has a firm place in history here for baseball, and I hate to say it, but these modes are very sticky. Look at Out of the Park, which just introduced Perfect Team. It has been very successful in reinvigorating that game and reaching to a whole new audience. Now, the balance is to ensure that you're not demanding too much money and time from your players in order to acquire cards to build your team. So building the mode is actually a great step forward, but there's a lot of opportunity that RBI Baseball would have here, like we said earlier, with direct access to the MLB players. All right, and then lastly, on that same note, legend players. With a baseball card team building mode and access to these MLB players, leverage that relationships with current and MLB players to bring the ability for fans to play as historic legends that cannot be played in other games. I think about The Show right now. The Show doesn't have A-Rod, doesn't have Derek Jeter, doesn't have these great legend players in recent history, Big Papi, that many people want to play as. RBI Baseball, you have tremendous upside. And if you really try and focus on these 5 things, I feel like you can be competitive. So I hope you're watching. I hope you're listening. All right, guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for tuning into this one. Until the next one, we'll see ya. Peace.